Most people have a comfort food, whether it be pot roast, chicken noodle soup, or my personal favorite, banana bread. It makes me feel happy and nostalgic whenever I make it because it's something that my family used to make for me when I was younger, and I learned how to make it growing up. Um, Now let's open up our cookbooks to discuss the history of banana bread, and I'll teach you how to whip up some of my favorite chocolate chip banana bread, and then the benefits of baking. Today's modern banana bread is made out of a few simple ingredients. It contains bananas, eggs, flour, sugar, spices, and some sort of chemical leavening agent to make the bread rise. And historically, instead of fresh fruit, banana bread was made from pulverized bananas turned into banana flour. This banana bread resembled white bread much more than today's pastry. It was a lot less sweet. Today, er, the ingredients are relatively cheap, so this made it a very popular recipe in the early 1900s during the Great Depression. Today, the banana bread I'll be showing you all how to make is much more familiar, is a lot sweeter, and has chocolate chips, making it more of a pastry. Now that we know how banana bread came to be, let's get cooking. It's important to know that this recipe will take about 70 minutes. First, you get all your ingredients together. Maybe. You will need 2.5 brown bananas, 1/3 cup of melted butter, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a pinch of salt, a cup of granulated sugar, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1.5 cups of flour, and a cup of chocolate chips, but I usually do more than that because it tastes better. After you've got all your ingredients, you can go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees so it's ready when your banana bread is ready to go in the oven. It's important to know that this recipe will take about 70 minutes total, 15 minutes of prep, and about 55 to 60 minutes of baking. Now let's get cooking. The recipe suggests that you spray your 8x4-inch pan with cooking spray, but I find it's better to butter it with a stick of butter, then it slides out of the pan a lot easier. After that, you could go ahead and peel all of your bananas, and you can go ahead and mash them until they're like smooth. While you're doing that, you can melt your butter, and then you'll add your butter to your mix and stir it until it's smooth. After that, you're gonna add your salt and baking soda. In just a second. Yep. And then you're going to add your sugar, vanilla, and beaten egg. I suggest to beat the egg separately before adding it into the mixture, just so you get an even amount of yolk and white throughout the bread. After you're done with that, you can add in your flour and then the chocolate chips. And yeah, you add your flour, and then it's important to scrape the bottom of the bowl while you're mixing in the flour so that it's mixed evenly. And then after you add your chocolate chips, if you want, you can pour it in, and I usually sprinkle some more on top. And then you can put it in the oven. Now, after it comes out of the oven, you want, hang on. You're going to set your timer for 55 minutes and then check with a toothpick. If it comes out clean, then it's done. If not, it needs about 5 to 10 more minutes. And you can check that every few minutes just to make sure it doesn't burn. When it's done, you should leave it in the pan to cool so it doesn't crumble when it comes out of the pan. The recipe suggests to let it cool completely before enjoying, but I think it's best slightly warm. Now, while it's baking, we're going to go ahead and turn the page and discuss some benefits of baking. I love to bake with my family and friends. It's something that makes me really happy. I like to share my treats and get feedback and spread joy. I love baking with others because it makes me feel happy, and it's a form of self-expression. It helps relieve stress and improve your mood. It's an opportunity to practice mindfulness, and it also engages you in all 5 senses, including touch, sight, taste, smell, and hearing. And it also engages you in acts of repetition and rhythm, which can relieve stress. For me, it's also a comfort food that reminds me of waking up early on Sunday mornings to make banana bread with my family. After that, we would ride our bikes to my great-grandpa Sherman's house, and we would give them banana bread. And then we would spend hours laughing and talking and eating the banana bread we made. And that just made me really happy. Um, Now, before we close our cookbooks, I hope you all enjoyed this sweet lesson and learned a little something about the history of banana bread, how to make some chocolate chip banana bread, and how baking can be beneficial to you. Now let's enjoy some of this easy to make comfort food. Bon appetit!